This is part 2 of reference variables. It's exactly the same setup. I just want to add another member to the robot class over here. There's a concept called finalize, and one of the things that makes Java a slightly easier language than C++ to learn is that the Java operating system does all the garbage collection. When you actually finish with an object, you normally have to destroy that object in C++, otherwise you get memory leaks and all sorts of problems. And if you've ever played any of the older games on PCs where they crash, they normally crash because of memory leaks because some sloppy programmer hasn't actually destroyed the objects when they finished using them. Java will do that. It's just that it does it in a slightly unpredictable way. You can't predict exactly when it will work. So I'm going to try this technique. It works most of the time, but all I can say is that Java will get round to destroying objects, but you can't actually say when it will do it. The Java virtual machine decides all this itself. So there is a method that objects can use, which is finalize, which you can't guarantee on it running. Basically, it does have certain uses, and I'm not quite using it in the correct manner here, but basically this should run whenever an object is destroyed. It's just that your program may have ended before the Java virtual machine destroys your objects. Okay, so I'm going to have this just quite simply say it's just going to quite simply say I'm about to be garbage collected, gseed, garbage collection. Okay, so this will run just as the object's about to die, and hopefully it'll die whilst we're still running our program, so we can see the results in the output here. Let's just close that down for a second. I'll open up again. So that's the only thing that we've added to this particular object here. Sorry, this robot object, robot class is this finalize method. Let's Control S that. Go back over here, and now what I'm going to do, we left this with William and Kate actually pointing to the same robot, and what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say Kate equals null. And when you do that, that means this remote control is no longer pointing at the object. Now, if there are no references at all, references plural, at all to an object, it's set up to be garbage collected as and when the Java virtual machine decides it's going to get killed off. Now, what happens here, however, is that whilst Kate's set to null, William is still set up here. The remote control is still set to point to this object over the William remote control. So if I say here, or what can I say? Let's say out removed the Kate's control. So it tells us when that's done, and let's force the system to do a garbage collection. You can Google these commands, and we'll put the system into thread dot sleep for I don't know, give it 3 seconds. Works in milliseconds. So what will happen here is that the system will do the garbage collection. I've done a typo, some sort of typo there. I don't know what quite I've done wrong. Done Kate equals null. System out print line. That looks good. System dot gc thread dot sleep. That looks absolutely fine. If we're doing those, I've got to do just a second. This is stuff which I'm just not going to get around to explaining, but I'm just going to have to say this throws an exception, so that should sort that out. Let's have a look. Throws interrupted exception. That should work. Okay, and I say, oh, straight, I put that in the wrong place. Just bear with me. Take that out. Control X, and slight mental fatigue here. That should work. Okay, ignore this little bit here. It's basically the thread may throw an interrupted exception, so don't worry about that. What's going to happen here is going to set Kate to null. We're going to print this out saying, right, remove the Kate remote control, a system garbage collection. Now, if Kate was the very last reference to a robot object, that robot object would then come out and say, I'm about to be garbage collected, and you know it's about to die. Okay. What I'm then going to do is say William equals null. That is the last reference to him. And if I now do a similar sort of thing here, and Control C, stick this here, Control V, and that's change that to remove the William remote control, then run the garbage collection and sleep. What you should see here is that the Kate, we remove the Kate reference, but it doesn't kill the object. The object's still alive, and it's only when we remove the William reference, both references to that same object removed, then it'll actually be collected, and the garbage collector will force this last method to run. Let's just do run on that. Just going to run. So it's removed the Kate control, still alive, and it's only when it removes the William remote control does it then tell you that it's about to be garbage collected, and it basically gets bumped off. So that's a sort of a slightly weird overview of objects and garbage collection. Probably made no sense to you whatsoever.